Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at Maplestory 2. The game went into open beta in China last week, and having already made a QQ account for other Chinese MMORPGs, I was able to get on to play pretty quickly. Signing up and downloading is pretty simple, and I'll go ahead and put a link to the written guide for it in the description if you do decide to play it. I did only play for a few hours due to having unbearably high ping and rubber banding, so I will only give my impressions of the early gameplay and features rather than doing a full review of the game like I originally intended. Starting off, there's a total of 12 jobs to choose from, 9 in the Chinese version, a minuscule number compared to the nearly 40 jobs available in the original Maplestory. The character creator is pretty old school with preset colors, preset facial expressions, and the heart and band-aid tattoos that are in almost every Eastern MMO. It does offer one more modern feature, which is extending hair length like in Black Desert. Aside from that, it's a very simple character creation process. Choose what you like and move on. There is, however, a lot more customizability with outfits and accessories gained through gameplay, some of which can have custom appearances and images on them. Jumping into the game, you begin with the story questline. This serves as the main method of progression, gives the most amount of experience, and will do the best job of teaching you what is available in the game. It is very straightforward: get this item, defeat this monster, go to the next location, rinse and repeat. There are a lot of cutscenes in this game, the overwhelming majority of which cannot be skipped. I understood its importance in the beginning to explain my place in the world and the story I'm going through, but the unskippable cutscenes are very long and appear very often, apparently all the way till the endgame, which I'm not a fan of at all. It also didn't help that there's little to no action in between, so it's not like you end up doing any meaningful or fun combat in between each cutscene. Moving on to more positive aspects of the gameplay, there is a ton of stuff to do in this Maple world. While the regular MMORPG questing and leveling part is very bland, the game offers fun small instance activities and events that happen at certain times, from racing other players through an obstacle course to playing music at a club. I found myself having a lot of fun taking part in them. I realized that it's not intended for the game to be followed in a linear fashion the entire time, but for players to explore the world and find the abundance of random fun things to do. The game world is made up of small maps connected to each other, much like Ragnarok Online and Tree of Savior. Movement through this world is extremely free, with players capable of climbing walls, jumping over pretty much anything, swimming, and going anywhere you can see. There is also a pretty good housing system. There are housing areas placed all over the world that can be bought and designed by players like this one. The outside appearance can be customized, but the actual house itself is within an instance area. One of the big appeals of this game is the vast number of things you can collect from the various activities I talked about before, as you can see in this person's house. It is definitely not the combat or questing that attract or keep players in the game, more so the social and minigame nature of its world. It's a haven for people that care about collecting stuff like furniture, trophies, and showing off the rare things they've accumulated. The PvE gameplay is pretty fun. The dungeons require some strategy even early on, with environments being reactive, like bosses pushing you with gusts of wind while you try to solve puzzles. The combat is very simple though, but makes up for it by requiring strategy as well, like hiding in a hole or climbing up a monster's back to avoid its attack. It's not all just tank and spank. Of course, having only played for a few hours, I cannot comment on the endgame, but note that there is PvP, world boss hunting, and raiding too. The early gameplay has a ton of non-traditional stuff already that I don't usually find in MMORPGs, so I did have fun right from the beginning. The game is not yet localized and there is no English patch for it, so it can be a bit of a hassle. I don't really recommend playing the Chinese version unless you can find a way around the crazy high ping with a ping booster, or have a much higher tolerance than I do. There is no official word on the Western version at this time, but I think the possibility is very likely to happen. For now, if you want to talk about Maplestory 2, there are a few people on my Discord other than myself that play the game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helped you decide if you want to try Maplestory 2 or keep an eye out for a Western version. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with the latest MMORPGs. If you would like to support my channel and the content I create, you can do so on Patreon. Till next time, have a great day.